All right, once again, some supervillains are being asked to save the day in the Suicide Squad 2. Matt Perrin, he's going to give us his take in this week's Monday Movie Musings.
Welcome to another Monday. We had a movie take first at the box office, even though it was also released on HBO Max. Fans were upset when writer-director James Gunn was fired from Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and even though he was rehired, it put delay on it because he was swept up by DC to pen the Suicide Squad sequel. Was he able to bring new life to DC that was started with the original Wonder Woman and Shazam? Here's a look at the Suicide Squad. Our movie begins with Amanda Waller, reprised by Viola Davis, putting together a new Task Force X comprised of new and returning characters. The same deal applies. Complete the mission for 10 years off your sentence. Do anything wrong and a bomb in your head gets detonated. The group gets sent to the island of Corto Maltese, where there has recently been a military coup. No sooner do they arrive than all kinds of craziness breaks out and the Suicide Squad moniker becomes appropriate. Harley Quinn and Colonel Flag get captured and a group of survivors set out to rescue the pair and destroy an experimental facility. Along the way, we see violence and humor competing for the audience's attention. Apparent hostiles are everywhere, and we see our ragtag group of anti-heroes dispatching them with extreme prejudice. We see fights, we see covert operations, and we see relationships forming between characters that seem to be allergic to relationships. As the movie progresses, even though the action seems to lull for a minute, it fires back up with a fury. Rescue missions succeed even if they didn't need them. Humor surrounds all of the brutality as we see our gang infiltrate the facility and find that they are up against alien warfare. Governments, both foreign and domestic, and even against their own personal motivations. We see new abilities from our newcomers and bright smatterings of color that the DC universe has been sorely missing. We as the audience are enthralled. The movie gut punches us left and right, but we can't stop laughing and cheering all the way to the credits. So, what to say about this one? First off, all hats off to James Gunn. He ran with this and made it the most fun movie of the year so far, which is fitting considering he has said this was the most fun movie for him to make. I rewatched the first one right before I watched this one, and that makes the sequel so much better. And as you know, it's not often we can say that a sequel outdoes the original, especially when it's a sequel to a Will Smith movie without Will Smith, i.e. the latest Men in Black and Independence Day movies. But if there's someone to fill in for him, it's Idris Elba, who can do no wrong. As I mentioned earlier, most DC movies are plagued by darkness and indecipherable fight scenes. This movie assaults you with light and color. Gunn took a page from Waititi's Thor Ragnarok, which is only fitting since Waititi has a role in this movie. The violence is brutal, yet beautiful, and even when you're cringing at it, you're cracking up at the same time because it's done hilariously. There's a post-credit scene that sets up a spin-off movie, so stick around for that. But all in all, this movie is fantastic. In my review for the first one, I said just watch the trailers because they're better than the movie. This is the exact opposite. It's one of only 3 DC movies that I will watch more than once. I can't praise James Gunn enough. If he and Edgar Wright teamed up to co-write and co-direct a movie, I think it would bring harmony to the world. Okay, let's not go that far, but this shows what can be done when you allow someone to have a vision and run with it. This has been your Monday Movie Musing. Back to you.